Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing iRacing Formula 3D Season 2, Round 2, here at the Autodromo, I can't believe I've ever pronounced this correctly, the Autodromo Carlos Pache in Brazil. My name is King Kodiak and I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's race. Joining me in the commentary box once again is our faithful debutant in the commentary box from last week. It is Simon. Welcome back to you.
Thank you. Hello. Yeah, I'm back.
We haven't frightened him away. Right, before we get down to the qualifying session, which has just begun, so as a reminder, it is the best 3 laps they've got and 10 minutes to set those 3 laps. But as you can see, they only have the track. They have the track to themselves. They can hear everybody else, but they can't be blocked by anybody else. Before we have a look at who is doing what, let us have a look at the standings currently. There they are, Osterkamp at the top of the field, but only just being chased hard by Ilbrink. Then Van Hooyman 3, Phil Reed 4, Stefan Herman 5, Fassbender in 6th, Charlie Summers 7, Kessa 8, Emerson 9, and Martinson rounds out the top 10. Holstein in 11th, Nolden 12, Erkenes with 13, Barton 14, and Butala rounds out our top 15 from the standings as they currently sit. But some interesting things of note. 2 people. We have 31 cars with us. An incredible turnout for our Formula 3D. 2 individuals will not be taking part in qualifying. That is Christoph Holstein, no less, and Luca Brani, due to post-race penalties from last week. So you catch us as they are just getting to the end of their outlaps. There is Kerry Nolden. Erka Lindstrom is just coming through the bottom of turn 3, I believe it is. No, he's on his way back up the hill. He's on his way to turn 6 and 7. And quite a few people have been losing the tail around about, well, somewhere through turn 3. And quite a few people have gone backwards into the barrier. Yeah, some real top names are doing that. So that's certainly something to bear in mind as well. Now, Simon, you got a bit of information from our drivers from last week's race when we noticed that the cars were getting a bit tail happy, didn't you?
Well, yes, I talked to Alex Smith, one of the Team Tape cars. He said that the front is very stable for the drivers. However, the rear seems to be very, very loose and easy to lose if you over push the car.
Indeed, and the tail seemed very happy, very, very loose again here at Interlagos. So this is going to be interesting. Now, the track is much cooler. Let's bring up the track info there. There we go. So the track is a little bit cooler. That's because the race time is quite early in the morning when they take on the 15 turns, 4 kilometre length of Interlagos. So that is going to be something else that our drivers will have to contend with. The tyre temperatures may be something a little bit different to what they're used to dealing with. Oh, Marcel Fassbender once again challenging the mighty Osterkamp into the pole spot at the moment. That's his second time lap, as you can see over on the right there. 1:25.054. Oh, a bit of lag moment then caused him to vanish. But wow, it's as always, it's very close between the competitors, and practice times were looking very close again. Not only one person was outside of 2/10 from the car in front, so this should be very interesting.
Yeah, we should have some really good battles on our hands today throughout the entire field, both in front and at the back.
Now we'll do our best to try and kind of feature everybody, but it's always very difficult, especially when we have such a big grid. A few names that are joining us that we didn't have last time around. This is a particular name I haven't commentated on in a while. That's Ross Woodford, otherwise known as ACR Nobody. I think the last time I commentated on Ross was in an R-Factor 2 league many moons ago. So glad to see him in the iRacing fraternity. With lots of names to go through. We'll kind of go through them when we are going through the grid. But at the moment, the pole time still belongs to Fassbender as René Osterkamp. It's just, oh no, René Osterkamp backed out of it.
No, he lost the rear going into turn 4. Just lost the rear, went off track.
Oh dear. Oh my goodness me! At 24.802 from Fassbender. That is his 3rd time lap. I mean, he can press on. There's still another 4.5 minutes of the session remaining. Nothing stopping him from pressing on. just having a bit of practice out there. But he cannot beat that time. But what a stonker there. And Paul Ilbrink, who on track is directly ahead of him, but of course they can't see one another, is second by 3/10. That's the biggest gap we've seen so far tonight in these cars.
Yeah, and impressive about Fassbender time is that it's a whopping. It's like 7/10 faster than what they did last season when they also went into Lagos.
Oh, Kessler has just jumped up into second with a 25.055. Even he's 2.5 tenths off the top spot. And last time out, it was René Osterkamp with a 24.574 for a pole time. So it's going to be interesting to see. And that was 0.04 of a second quicker than Tim Delisle. Tim's not with us for the season, I believe. It's a bit of a shame. So we're getting close to that time, but not quite there yet. What's Paul Ilbrink got for, I think it's his third time lap, streaming on down towards the line? Can he improve? Taking the shortest available route. Does he improve? Well, yes, he does. A 1:24.785 for the Radicals Online car number 10. That is a new pole sitter then in Paul Ilbrink. Nicely done. It's good to see, as I mentioned last time out, it's good to see some of our newcomers really making the established names work hard for it.
Indeed it is. Especially Fassbender, who looked fast last week. Being picked for that top position for pole.
Absolutely, absolutely. As most of our drivers have either completed or invalidated their laps. Fassbender is still pressing on. Sarah Dove's still out there. Has she done her 3-time laps? I'm not entirely sure she has. But she's still pressing on nonetheless, currently there in 20th. Oh, we now have 32 cars, so I don't know who the last joinee is. But 32 cars now grace the grid. Oh, and Sarah, and there we go. That is a perfect demonstration on how easy it is to lose the tail. Nicely done there, Sarah. Kerry Nolden is glad to see he's back, as I mentioned last time out in Imola. He had some terrible catastrophic wheel problems in the inaugural season of the F3 League, so it's good to see him back behind the wheel and setting some impressive pace. What does Kerry do? 1:25.574. Here's Karen Lyon, he's in the pits. So that brought an end to that one. Sarah coming out for a little bit more practice. Dominic Gaydemer is still out there on track. 1:25.978 his time. Most people back in the pits, but this... yes, I think we're on for a good one. Well, I say that every time. It sounds corny to say. But, I mean, you've got to think that you've got to go down to Kimi Larson in 17th place before you exceed a second from the pole time. And first to second is separated by 17,000. So, yes, I'm looking forward to this.
I'm just looking through the time screen, and then it just says 0.00, 0.00, 0.00, 0.00.
Well, that's nice and close and consistent.
It's definitely it's going to be interesting for them race.
That it is. We only have a few cars still on track. Ross is still out there in 24th with a 26.008. He is coming back up the hill, right a bit on board with car number 78. Through 8, down the hill into 9, and there again, I mean, he's riding the apex a bit, so that's upsetting the car, but how much counter-steering he had to put in. That's a very slow corner, the Peronino in turn 9. Now through 10, down the hill, through Mugello of turn 11. Wander over to the right-hand side. Use as much of that AstroTurf as you're allowed to use. Then over the rumble strip, through Jinshan, and up the hill, back towards the start-finish line we come. Here's Ross on a time lap. Is he going to improve? What does he do? And he's going for the line. Let's see. That's an improvement from 24th. If he did, the session ended. So he didn't. He remained. That was an invalid lap from Ross. Right. Let's get a confirmation of the grid then. If I can find my buttons. Right, grid. Here we go then. So it's Paul Ilbrink on the top spot with Fassbender, Kessler, Osterkamp, Reed, Cortese, Summers, Ryan, Martinson, Hoyman, Barton, Nolden, Tessier, Miles, Imre, Boucher, Larson, Varani. Now Luca's set a time. That's I was informed that he should have been on a qualifying round, so he may have a penalty as a result of that. Morris, Lindstrom, Dove, Gadamer, Volmuth, Woodford, Pierce, Santana, Butelaar, Beard, Emerton, Bennett, Schmidt, and Holstein. Holstein did indeed save his qualifying ban. He will start from the tail of the field.
It's going to be interesting to see his progress through the field. Very fast driver.
Very much so, as we are now gridding up. Just waiting for everybody to join the field. I mean, if we jump into the cockpit of Chris Holstein, that is the view he's got. That's a lot of people between himself and the first corner, so that's going to be interesting for him. Let's get towards the sharper end of the field. Right. So when everybody is gridded up, we will get this race underway. 2 races, of course, the feature race and the sprint race. The sprint race has its own one-shot qualifying, which we will go through when we get there. Just waiting for everybody to grid up now. Come on, come on, come on. Here's hype, it's adrenaline, let's go.
We just want to see some racing, goddammit.
Yes, come on. That's a great effort. And away we go then. We are racing here in Interlagos because it catches us by surprise because we don't get a countdown. And Paul Elbrink looks like he's going to hold on fairly comfortably to that pole spot. That is then, as the field starts to settle in, Fassbender is... oh, what has happened to René Osterkamp? Oh my goodness, he's had a terrible start. He's all the way down in 8th. He's been challenged already, starting on the towards the sharp end in 4th, and he's now 9th. He's going to be side by side with that's Connor Ryan to his immediate right, and that's very close between the two as they come through turn 4 and remain on track so far. Let's just keep an eye on our front runners. Paul Hilbrink's actually got himself already a half a second gap, which is as big a gap as anybody's going to have. Then it's Fassbender, Kessler. Oh, and that's Phil Reed getting a lot of pressure on the AOR orange car. In 4th position, Charlie Summers, who's done it, he qualified in 7th. A great effort for Charlie. Is now in 6th due to the misfortune of René Osterkamp. And here they come, threading their way through. Turn 10. Head the way down. There is René Osterkamp. He's down in 9th. Now, what a terrible start for him. But looks like everyone's made it through. Any issues you've spotted, Simon?
Not really. I saw Donny Gedemar, which had a little off up towards, I think, up to 9. But that's about all. It's all, I think, a very clean start compared to what we had last week.
Nicely done, nicely done. There's Christoph Holstein already up to 25th position, side by side with, I believe, that's Jordan Pierce. Oh, Christoph is in. Well, he's. We're seeing some very early pit stops, it seems. Now that I did not expect anyone to be in so early. Paul Hilbrink is fairly comfortably in, on his own there, or comparatively so. Look at Phil Reed. He's putting the pressure on Patrick Kessler for that 3rd position, side by side through turn 4. Oh, well played. Phil Reed, can he complete the move? He's going to be on the outside as he's blinked out of existence. There we go. There's Cortese looking to try and make that 3 wide. He thinks better of that one. On the nose of car 55, Kessler is actually on the outside impact. Oh, Kessler's round. Oh my goodness, he saved it. Oh, that must have been quite a scary moment for Kessler, but that front wing is mullered. That front wing is utterly ruined. He's actually come to a stop. Is that Kessler out? That
looks like he took the toe to the pad.
Oh my goodness, Patrick Kessler not pleased, I think, with that move from Gio Cortese, as he just jumped back to the pits, unless there was catastrophic damage to the front of his car. I mean, that front wing did look quite heavily displaced. So that is, we have had our first casualty of the race, but Phil Reed under a lot of pressure. There goes Cortese on the outside heading towards turn 1. Can Phil Reed head him off or hold on to that 3rd position as Hilbrink sets the fastest lap of the race, but he's only a couple of tenths ahead of Marcel Fassbender. Round the outside goes Cortese. I think Phil Reed backed out of that one a little bit to let car 55 through. You realistically know when a move is done. He didn't fancy trying to string that one out. He wants to get, and there we go. He's now getting alongside, heading down towards turn 4. We've seen him do an outside manoeuvre already into this turn, and that looks like it's going to be job done for Phil Reed. Oh no, Cortese lost it and caught Phil Reed in the aftermath of that. Oh my goodness, disaster for Phil Reed and Gio Cortese.
Looks like they picked up Conor Ryan, I think, as well. So Radical's car around on sidewise.
Yeah, well spotted. Yeah, and that's the view from Conor Ryan. Oh, he was just, yeah, I think you're right. He didn't get physically collected, but I think he probably just got put off in the melee that happened. But that promotes. Now Charlie Summers up into third. Well, everybody from the third and fourth downwards have all gone up a position. But you can see the numbers on the right-hand side, how they've jiggled around. And yeah, how much shuffling there is going on. Charlie Summers now starting 7th, now to 3rd, with 1.7 behind him to Luke Barton, who's got Tom van Hooyman and Knut Martensen in hot pursuit. But Paul Elbrink is doing a nice job there, just ever so slightly, lap on lap on lap, just pulling away from Marcel Fassbender. And from what we saw last week, that's no easy feat. So very nice, great start then for the Radicals Online car number 10.
Reed goes in, look like he has some kind of side pod damage as well from that incident.
Oh,
the left side one is a bit bent in.
Oh, that's Ross Woodford and Sarah Dove side by side coming through the twisties. But goodness me, that's was coming down the centre S's. Now Ross is going to be under all kinds of pressure from Sarah Dove and also David Santana. Look at the amount of scrapping going on behind. Cortese's in that lot after. Well, he's still got that damage. Look at that front wing on car number 7. Oh, no, I beg your pardon, car number 55. As that's Marcus Volmuth that is battling with him. Look at this lot. 2 side by side, a 3 wide, and another side by side just behind.
Yeah, we had a clean start, and then just it's sort of getting a bit on the more dirty side now, if you can call that. A bit more incidents, a bit of contact between people.
Tom van Hooyman has, looks like, looking at the timings, he's got Knut Martensen in hot pursuit, so van Hooyman's had a decent start up from 10th. Knut is up a few positions from his start of 9th, but then looking at Marcel Mars, he's under a lot of pressure from Alexis Boucher. And Fassbender gets his name of the fastest lap board. He's only a couple of tenths behind Paul Ilbrey. We'll check in with them shortly. But this is Marcel Mars, Alexis Boucher side by side. That very distinctive pink livery on Alexis's car. Now working their way down the hill. Marcel Mars does manage to hold that one off as they come through the centre S's, through Curva del Sol again. But this is where the slipstream is really proving very powerful. Look at the rate of knots that Alexis Boucher is managing to pull alongside Alexis Miles. And Alexis Miles, I'm now mixing up the two names again. Marcel Miles and Alexis Boucher. But, Cortese, Butenla. Oh my goodness me, there's so much passing going on everywhere. Oh, keep it clean, everybody. Where is Cortese? There he is. He's actually the head of this particular train, still carrying that damage. He doesn't want to come in. He's losing so much time. I'm surprised he hasn't brought that in already.
Yeah, it seems like a bad job to stay out and instead of going to repair space. They have to do one pit stop anyway, so might as well come and get that thing repaired and then take the pit stop. You don't have to come in again.
Now, someone that did take their pit stop very early is this man, Christoph Holstein. Now, bearing in mind he started last, he's already been through the pits, so he can now just go absolutely qualifying lap, hell for leather, until the end of the race. So, running Osterkamp, you don't expect to find him down in 23rd position. So that's not gone well for him. Oh, Volmuth, what's happened to you? Something happened to Marcus Volmuth. Okay, you wandered very, very wide coming through Junshao. And has lost a handful of position. Again, you make a mistake with a grid this close, it is going to be a lot of positions. It's difficult for me to know where to look because there's so much going on. What's Cortese? Cortese has brought his car in several laps too late, I fear.
Yeah. Definitely like that thing. That car should have been after contact.
Yeah,
finished contact.
So let's have a quick look at who's where. Then Paul Elbrink still leads the way. Our poleman continues to lead the field. Marcel Fassbender, the only man within a few seconds of our race leader. Then Charlie Summers, 3 seconds behind him to the next car and 3 seconds ahead of him. He's finding himself essentially in no man's land. Luke Barton now in 4th, 1.7 ahead of Tom van Hooyman in 77. He has Knut Martensen for company, as you can see, there in 6th. Then it's Marcel Myers. He's been fending off Alexis Boucher. Evan Imre has closed in on the pair of them. He gained a couple of tenths last time around, and he's going to get really involved with this battle, along with Kimi Larsen in 10th position, Erkan Lindström at the back of that particular train. So that fight is going to get very interesting very, very quickly. Ross Woodford up to 12th now from starting 24th. A decent start for him. Then Santana has got Sarah Duff for company as they stream on down towards... Oh, Sarah's pulled out from the slipstream and he's heading down towards turn 1. What's happened to Evan Imre? He's in the pits. Nothing's happened to him. There's Santana. Santana was side by side with Sarah Duff at the point that I looked to check up on Evan, but he's okay. Oh, Jordan Pierce has lost a position. That's Gaydemir and Butala that have gone past him.
Oh, Miles just collected push right
no!
into fall.
Yeah, we just saw the end of that. We'll get that from the camera looking at Miles. Oh, goodness me. 2 into 1 doesn't go, and that's how easily these cars are unsettled. So that's Marcel then continuing. It was Jordan Pierce that was sent off into the dust, and there goes that's Marcus Volmuth on the outside, heading towards turn 8. They are those two teammates? Yes, well, teams 1 and team 2, so they're for the same organisation but different teams within. So Marcus Volmuth in car number 7 comes up into 15th position, and look at that, that's Jordan Pierce looking to get him. Oh, beg your pardon, that's David Butelaar looking to get involved. Now trying an outside move at 198, that's Jordan Pierce. No, he doesn't get that one done. That's Alex Bennett directly behind him. And there is Rene Ossekamp. So Rene's got some company down there. He's made his way up to 19th position now, and has a lot of people directly ahead. But he's going to even he'll have to work fairly hard to get past them.
The Ossekamp actually seems to be the leading guys of the people that already pit. So he might actually go for like very, very big undercut.
Oh, what's happened to Marcel Miles? Nothing, he's in the pit. Unfortunately, my overlay doesn't tell me when someone's in the pit. I just see a name plummeting through the numbers. So I think something's happened. Oh, Fassbender right under the rear wing of Paul Ilbrink. Right up front, they've got a back marker. Who is that they're catching up to? It is Luca Ferrani. So his race has gone no better. He's down there in 30th position. So we've lost Phil Reed and Patrick Kessler from this race. We didn't see what happened to... We saw what happened to Phil Reed. We didn't really see what happened to Kessler, so don't know what's happened there. But Paul Ilbrink has had Fassbender for company for quite some time. Fassbender closed in 3/10 last time around, and that is the view from the nose of the Sim RC car number 49. Is he going to be able to challenge into turn 1? Let us see what he's able to do. Can Paul Ilbrink defend? Here comes Marcel. And the inside line is open. Paul is going to... Oh, he had a kind of second guess what he was going to do with the back marker there. Oh, no! Oh, that was close. That was very close with... that made me jump somewhat with Luca Ferrani kind of bailing on that. A really awkward time. That could have gone horribly wrong, but that has made for a change of lead. Marcel Fassbender using that opportunity to jump into the lead. We just saw Charlie Summers at the top of the chart. He's matching Paul Ilbrink's pace, but Marcel now really getting the hammer down. Another 25.3 under his belt. Now car 49 seems to be coming alive.
Indeed, his best lap is 2/10 faster than Paul Ilbrink's best. And now Fassbender now released from Ilbrink should be able to create a bigger gap now than a big safety gap. Also, just to help you remember, Kessler was the first victim of was the first guy to have contact with Gio Cortez.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't have a very good memory. You'll learn this, Simon. Part of your role, if anyone's co-commentating with me, is to remind me as to what the hell's actually happened earlier in the race. Kadeem Martinson now up to 5th position with Luke Barton still in his sights. 6/10 between the two. Paul Ilbrink doing what he can to hang on to the back of Marcel Fassbender. That's the view from the Radicals Online car number 10. Was Marcel maybe the quicker of the two? He still felt the need to stay very much to the inside line, heading towards turn 1. Paul's not close enough, but Marcel knows you get a decent exit from the SNRSs, and Paul Ilbrink could be right on his case again as they come through turn 3 onto the Retta Reposta. That is Luca Ferrani. You see, there is Charlie Summers. So he is loitering, looking at Charlie Summers. Wow, Charlie actually set his best lap last time around, and he's 100th of a second slower than Marcel Fassbender. So don't discount Charlie from this lead battle either. There's a lot of pace in that AOR blue car number 350. Nicely done.
Yeah, indeed. It's just if Ilbring can keep up with Fassbender, Fassbender has to keep defending and running slower lines, trying to defend. That's also you have a freeway battle for the lead with Charlie Summers.
Hope so. Oh, excuse me. But Charlie Summers, that's the view from his nose. He'll have Luca Verani to navigate. But of course, if Fassbender and Ilbring continue to fight, they will slow each other down. That's going to help Charlie then close in on them. 7.1 seconds down the road is Luke Barton, who's begun to get a bit of a gap between himself and Canoe Artisan. That's the gearbox view from car number 12. There you can see Canoe Artisan and Tom van Hooyman in 4th, 5th and 6th respectively. So Luke Barton now beginning to stretch his legs there. Looking at his last lap was a 28, so Marcel responding to the pressure with a 25.2. Nicely done. Still only 6 tenths between himself and Ilbrink. There's Luca Verani and Charlie Summers still in hot pursuit. Charlie was a little bit slower than those around him. What's Ross Woodford? Oh, hello, is side by side. Oh dear, I'm coughing again. With Erka Lindström. Battle for 8th, well and truly on between these two. Ross then going to cut to the inside. Look at the queue of cars behind. That's Gaydemeyer, Boucher, Dove and Santana in that battle. Gaydemeyer defending very hard coming into turn 4, but Lindström and Woodford, what a great scrap they're involved in.
Yeah, indeed. Like when this 4-5 car trains or like throughout the field, we had miles. It wasn't exactly miles long, but definitely had a few people in it.
Absolutely. So it's always difficult to know who to look at because there's so much battling going on. I mean, that battle just behind this. Look at that. Dominic Gaydemeyer certainly has does seem to have the car underneath him. He's up 22 positions. He hasn't been through the pits, so not many people have been through the pits. The lead car that has, as you can see, is Christoph Holstein. So he's now up to 18th position, but the car one behind, 7.3 seconds behind, is Evan Imre. He's been through the pits as well. So he could, if he keeps his nose out of trouble, could be on for a decent haul of points. Holstein is now catching to the back. That is Jordan Pearson, Alex Bennett directly ahead. That's a battle for 16th. Going on, but look at the string of cars. He's got Alex Bennett and Jordan Pierce scrapping into turn 1. Then a couple of seconds down the road is David Butelar. There he is in car number 7. Then 2.6 further down the road is Marcus Volmuth. Just there's so many cars that he could potentially see. Oh, look at that battle, Bennett and Butelar. Bennett and Pierce, of which Christoph Holstein's got a decent ringside seat for, but he could just kind of watch them scrap and slow each other down or take each other off. We've seen a few people do already. And he's in the pound seat. Look at that. He's actually weaving his Holstein to try and get some heat in his tyres. Now, he's quite early in the day, as we mentioned. The track temperature is lower than what we will have in certain other tracks. So that may well be playing a bit of a factor in Holstein's setup.
Yeah, well, the cold tire, like it's early in the morning, it's cold tires. Usually when you have something like, when you have all the morning races at the morning, will be something like 24 hours races, but at that point the tires are warm already from driving, and morning time is their kind of happy hour because it's with the fastest. But here with these cars and with this track, because the start of these cold tires and the fact that the track is so cold, it makes it harder for them to actually heat up the tires.
There goes Holstein on the outside coming through the final few turns. Is he going to have the momentum to come past Jordan Pierce? Jordan may not necessarily contest it too hard, and indeed he doesn't because he peels in. Oh no, I thought he was peeling into the pits, but I think he's actually going to let Holstein go. Or is he going to fight him into turn 1? He didn't really make it very easy on Holstein, but
I think you're still a very defensive line into.
I think he did, yeah, he didn't want to let that one go. But new fastest lap again by car number 10, Paul Ilbring. He's not wanting to let Marcel go. They're increasing the gap between themselves and Charlie Summers behind. Now 4.3 seconds between these two and the chasing AOR Blue car 350. So the battle for the lead is by no means concluded. I did wonder whether Fassbender was just going to kind of run off into the distance, but Paul Ilbring's having none of it.
Well, no, Ilbring is keeping close. He's still within. He's still very, very close to Fassbender. We have a bit of a sudden issue from the rear of the field. we have 4 retirees, and some of them are quite far forward in the championship. We have Phil Reed, who has been in the pits now for 10 minutes. Osterkamp has been in for 7.5. And Kurt Nolan is also retired.
Oh my goodness, we've lost Rene Osterkamp. Oh dear, we didn't see the incident happen, so I don't know what's happened to him. But, whilst we're talking about that, Paul Hilbring, another fastest lap by quite a considerable way. He was under the slipstream of the fellow RaceBot racer, Rene's teammate. The RaceBot pair were having a hell of a scrap last week at Imola. But, go on.
I think what happened to Osterkamp. Osterkamp actually lost the rear into turn 4, and then his rear smashed into the inside wall. Oh! And from there, it was apparently gone.
A few people during practice ended up going backwards into the wall and losing the rear wings. So once again, that's highlighting exactly what Simon was talking about earlier, with the tail of these cars getting very, very unsettled. And well, there you go. As soon as you say that Paul got a bit of a snap of oversteer there, he caught it brilliantly well. But chasing off after Marcel, that just goes to show you how good these two lead cars are. They're fighting for that race lead and still extending the gap between themselves and Charlie Summers behind. Charlie's not under pressure. He's got 8 seconds between himself and Luke Barton. But these two just continue to run off. And our race leader in, Marcel, has chosen now, roughly halfway, to bring his car in. So can Paul really, with a big old amount of clean air, just get that one blinding lap in to try and leapfrog Fassbender, I wonder?
Take the last bit of fuel, just wreck the tires, get everything out of it, as much of it out of it as you can. Well, Fassbender goes out again.
Indeed, Kimi in. Yep, Kimi Larsson's in as well. Charlie Summers, I think, has brought his car in. I can't click on his name. No, there he is. Charlie Summers is actually coming out of the pit, so he's been through. Oh, he's slotted right behind Gaydemeyer and Lindstrom. There is the Comrade Gaming car 37 of Dominic Gaydemeyer, just managing to slot back ahead of Erkan Lindstrom. Charlie, that's the last thing he wanted. Speaking of the Comrade Gaming pair, there's the other one. That's Butelai, was actually aiming for Holstein, who's he's now up to 13th. Bearing in mind, again, as a reminder, Christoph has been through the pits, so. But wow, that worked out well for Marcel. 3.5 seconds of clean air ahead of him. He's out in 5th.
Marcel timed that perfectly. He got in the gap between Heumann and Woodford, and that's exactly what you want when you're on an outlap and trying to battle for lead. You just want the space to just push the car. Meanwhile, potential for another lap.
Yeah, this is the last thing that Charlie Summers wanted. Look at that. That's Erkan Lindstrom. It's already ahead. Dominic Gaydemeyer is about 7 tenths ahead of him, but this is not what Charlie wanted. He's going to get a bit of a help and slipstream and grinding. He doesn't not want to be behind a battling pair. Here comes Charlie. Flies. He's going to make that move on Erkan Lindstrom look fairly straightforward. There's Sarah Dove just in the background.
Ilpring was going through turn 1, the first part of the Sanaz. He had Alex Smith ahead of him, who decided to take himself out in order to not get in Ilpring's way.
Oh, right.
He went across, got the entirety of turn 2, and then spun.
Oh no! Who was that did that?
Alex Smith.
Alex Schmidt. Oh no!
Yeah,
you don't need to jump off the road entirely. That's a little excessive, but it's going to be interesting to see how Paul Ilbring, even though he's had no one already ahead of him to slipstream off, he still did a 25.2 last time around, so he's setting some blinding pace. Marcel, of course, needs to cross the line to see how his pace is doing, but Marcel's had no one directly ahead. 3 seconds down the road is, or less than that now, is Tom Van Hooyman. You just about see him as we come down on board with Fassbender. There is Van Hooyman. So no particular problems for him. Has Ilbring coming? No, he's coming on again. Curious.
Went off on a lap. That's 25.4 essentially. Let's see what Fassbender does, and see if that will be very important to see if Fassbender is faster than Ilbring right now.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be the crucial time. 25.5, so no, Fassbender a couple of tenths slower that last time around. Looking behind, that's Gaydemeyer and Ross Woodford that are swapping position again, but Charlie Summers caught right in the middle of it. He's going to be losing so much time from Fassbender. and that's another car in. That is Marcus Fulmuth that has brought his car in. But Charlie Summers is going to be desperate to get past these guys. He's now going to get a bit of a slipstream from Ross, but Ross in turn is getting slipstream from Gaydemir. Oh, it's going to be a big dive on the inside of 4. Can he slow it down? Yes, of course he can. Charlie Summers. Ooh, that was nearly impact between Summers and Woodford there. Well, I certainly looked at it from our perspective. So Charlie now up into 7th. And Ross Woodford is going to get a big old helping of slipstream as they come back up the hill. But that's going to hurt Charlie's charge towards the higher ups on the podium. He is now about 6 seconds. Whoa! Wow, Gaydemir very slow coming through turn 9 and 10. That nearly caught Charlie out, but Charlie now up into 6th due to that mistake. Yeah, 5.8 seconds between Summers and Fassbender. So that's not gone brilliantly for Charlie, but pressing on nonetheless. Paul now leads the race by 15.2 seconds, but that's over Luke Barton. The gap between himself and Fassbender is 20.1 seconds. So I don't think it's going to be enough because the overall pit lane loss on a good stop seems to be 23 seconds. So yeah. As Luke Barton's jumped out of the way of everybody, bringing his car into the pits. So if Ilbring's looking to try and build that up, I think he's going to be a bit hard pressed, really, and he's going to hope that Fassbender gets caught up in traffic.
Also, we have another retiree. Lewis Hamilton has parked the car.
Oh dear.
Ilbring actually slower than Fassbender last lap. Fassbender 1.5 tenths faster than Ilbring.
Indeed, and he's closing in on Van Hooyman, who is chasing off after Knut Madsen. Knut now up to 2nd. Of course, Knut yet to pit. So we'll see how he comes out. But Paul's going to be, at this rate, he's going to be about 2 to 2.5 seconds behind Fassbender. I think he should have covered Marcel off.
Yeah, he definitely should have either gone in with Marcel or taken a pit at the next lap.
He's still going on. Well, I mean, he knows his car, he knows his abilities certainly better than we do. So I think that's a curious decision from the Dutchman. But
he actually did it almost essentially, almost the same lap, with just a few 100 slower than last time.
Well, that's consistent.
Yeah.
And that's his teammate Matt Beer that he's just put a lap on. Matt down in 25th at the moment and still pressing on. The Radical online pair close together on track but not in position. And Marcel is really honing in on Van Hooyman.
Marcel actually lost 2.5 tenths to Ilbring that last time round.
Gaydemir's in. So the second Comrade gaming car has brought his car into the pits. Puts Holstein up into 7th. And that's a hell of a drive from Christoph Holstein as well. Starting last, pitting on the first lap, and is now up into 7th position. That's a great effort for him. But I am keeping very much an eye on what is, well, essentially a battle for 3rd at the moment, which is Fassbender and Van Hooyman. Is Tom Van Hooyman going to put up a battle? That is something that's going to be a little bit curious. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, but you never know. You know, red mist might descend. They are racers after all.
Yeah. Races get competitive. Everyone that goes for points.
Indeed. I would imagine he would probably let him go because it's just going to cost them both time. And here we go. Fassbender's going to get a decent amount of slipstream heading towards turn 1. He's still 4 tenths back though, so he may have no choice but to kind of follow suit. And that gap is now nearly 21 seconds between Fassbender and Ilbring. Because Fassbender, is he going to dive on the inside of turn 1? There he goes. And yeah, I think that Van Hooyman didn't really defend that. Knut Madsen's brought his car in. Yeah, that's Fassbender up to 2nd, with that gap now it's just going to shrink between himself and Ilbring potentially. Where does Martinson reappear?
Actually, Ilbring somehow managed to go faster than compared to his 2 previous laps that last time round. Took another 4 tenths of Fassbender.
Nicely done. So he's still pressing on. There's Holstein in the background of that particular shot. I was trying to see where Knut Madsen, and there he is. He's slotted in right behind Luke Barton. So once again, Barton and Martinson scrapping again. Barton just ahead, so just under a second ahead of the AOI Yellow Car 20.
Indeed, it looks like Masters actually got caught up with a bit of time to Barton with the stop.
Could well have done. Could well have done. And Ilbrink is in. Now it's just 21 seconds, so he will come out behind Fassbender by roundabout, I would think, looking at the averages, around about a second and a half to 2 seconds. Unless he has an absolutely blinding stop, because he's coming a bit later, he may have a bit of a shorter stop. I doubt it, but we will see. How long is he stationary for?
Yeah, here's Fassbender.
He's away.
As Ilbrink comes out, this is going to be close.
It is going to be close, but I think Fassbender is going to have him.
No.
Oh, is he? On the gearbox of Ilbrink. Where's Marcel Fassbender? There he is! Oh my goodness! He's actually done it, but Fassbender still has the momentum after the Senna S's. Who is going to come into turn 4 first? He's done it! Paul Ilbrink, oh me of little faith, has managed by the merest of margins, 0.133 seconds, defend off Fassbender, but Fassbender is looking to get an inside move coming up the hill into turn 6. He's going to take the lead. He is at the moment. Oh, wow! And Ilbrink thought about an outside move coming through turn 8. So initially, well, it looked like Ilbrink had done it, but Fassbender back into the lead, but only just. It was me thinking he was going to be several seconds behind, and it's only a few tenths. Van Hooyman is already behind them, but Van Hooyman's still yet to pit.
Indeed, like amazing run by Paul Ilbrink on that overcut to get that close to Fassbender and actually taking the lead initially.
Brilliantly done, but now Paul Ilbrink's going to have a big old helping of slipstream as they come back up the hill and over the line again. They still have another 8 or so laps to do, just under 10 minutes of racing left. Here comes car number 10. Will Fassbender, surely Fassbender's going to defend, he's going to hold the inside line. It's going to force Ilbrink the long way round. Side by side coming into turn 1. Ilbrink takes the racing line, he's got the momentum. Can he come back underneath for turn 2? Yes, he can. Paul Ilbrink then comes back up into the lead, and Fassbender jumps out of the slipstream initially. I think it's because he wants to get a bit of momentum coming back onto that long straight, which he does, as Tom Van Hooyman brings his car in. Now side by side once again coming into turn 4. And it's Paul Ilbrink that's held onto it. So it's the same situation we had last time, last lap, the other way around. And now they're side by side again, coming up the hill into Ferratura.
Ilbrink now with the inside as well.
Oh, but Fassbender with the momentum. Can Ilbrink hold on to the apex? Last of the late breakers. Still side by side for another apex. Fassbender now with the inside line, and he's defended it. What a great series of corners from Marcel Fassbender. We've got potentially another 8.5 minutes of this. Absolutely brilliant.
Superb racing from both parties.
That was brilliantly done. Both drivers just keeping their heads under the pressure, just keeping their cool. Oh, Marcel looked a little wide coming off of Jun Shao. Here we go, up the hill again. I know there's plenty of other battles going on, but this is a brilliant one for the lead. Here comes Ilbrink again in that slipstream. He cuts out the very last second. Here we go again. That already ahead, I believe, is Saradov. No, that's not Saradov. That will be whoever Saradov's teammate is. As Luca Varani actually is the car already ahead. And no, Paul could not get alongside Marcel. Oh, Marcel's on the grass. He just managed to keep his car from spinning out this. And now, here we go again. Another, well, that was a tiny bit of slipstream for Ilbrink. Is he going to have the momentum to come past Fassbender? He's just nosed ahead. I think Fassbender braked a little early then to try and cut back underneath Paul Ilbrink as they come through 4 and 5 back up the hill. This is where Fassbender's been absolutely lightning quick, but no, he's got a set of a second this time round. But as each lap passes, that's you know, each punch and counter punch is going to be absolutely crucial towards the end.
Indeed. Well, the advantage that Ilbrink will have is the fact he has fresher tyres than a Fassbender. Because Ilbrink's only 2 laps, so Fassbender's are now 8.
Very true. But wow, look at that. I wonder if Fassbender has actually got a problem with the tyres, because suddenly Ilbrink's pulled out about 6 tenths. That's absolutely amazing. Look at that. That's now 7.5 tenths. So has Fassbender overcooked his tyres a little bit, trying to take after, you know, that hard after Ilbrink? Because that's nearly a second essentially that Ilbrink's overhauled in that 1 lap alone.
Indeed, it's very strange. It could be Oko tires, and that does mean it's a bit more conservative driving to try and get those cooled down again.
Could well be, but he's still staying in contention to attack for the lead a little bit later on. There's Luca Verani slightly further up the road. They come into turn 4 now. Paul Ilbrink not under direct threat at the moment. So yeah, looking at the times, it's about 7 tenths actually between Ilbrink and Fassbender to Ilbrink's favour last time around. And we only really saw one particular mistake from Fassbender, but his tyres may well just be beginning to give up a little bit. Well, we will see as he starts to claw back that gap between himself and Ilbrink. 5 laps remaining in this feature race here at Interlagos. We still have the sprint race to do after this, bearing in mind, so do stick with us once this race is done. But it does look like Ilbrink, unless he has a particular problem, is starting to stretch his legs a bit. Now 9 tenths between the two. Another battle for
1 seconds now. Yeah, it looks like Ilbrink is just using those fresh tyres to get away. And it's held now by the slipstream of Luca Verani.
Yeah, that's the view from Fassbender. He's just got no answer to it. As Ilbrink now starts to sprint off into the distance, but can he hold on to that pace for the remaining 4 laps? We will see.
Meanwhile, Christoph Holstein is now 4th.
4th.
From 32nd on the grid to 4th.
And a 25.0 from Ilbrink under slipstream. Yeah, he's 2.3 seconds is Holstein behind Charlie Summers. So we may yet see Christoph Holstein from starting dead last. He might get onto the podium. He only gained a 10th on Charlie last time around. Wouldn't be quite enough. He'd rely on Charlie to make a mistake. But what a stunning drive from Christoph Holstein. Go on.
To put perspective, Holstein's tyres are about 23 laps old.
Oh, wow.
He pitted on the very first lap.
Oh, he did, yes, that's true.
And he has gone 23 laps this one stint. And he is faster than Charlie Summers, who has 10 lap old tyres.
Oh, there's a great old scrap going on here. Gadamer has gotten ahead of Kimi Larson for 8th position, but right ahead. Well, look at this lot. Now, they're not all on the same lap, I don't think. Oh, yes, they are. I beg your pardon. There's Evan Imre in 10th, that then has Ross Woodford and Sarah Dove in really short order. That 5-car train is 8th to 12th. So that's a great old scrap forming there. And Nick Domino in chat does bring up a good point that when Marcel went over the curbs at turn 1, he on the exit of turn 2, I should say, he might have picked up a little bit of damage, a little bit Hamilton-esque from last weekend in Australia. Yeah, so that could be why he's falling off the back. I mean, he's only a 10th or so slower, but he just lost the time at the crucial time that has put him so far behind him. Now, just loitering at about 1.5 seconds. Kanu Martinson and Luke Barton still involved in their battle. That's for 5th position. Neither of them wanting to let go of that. Then you've got the battle for 8th that we saw. Gadamer's got a little bit of a gap between himself and Larson, who himself is under pressure from Evan Imre. Evan having a look on the inside, heading towards turn 1, doesn't make the move. Ross Woodford has got Sarah Dove for company. They come back down the hill. Only 1.5 seconds behind is Connor Ryan. So, commentator curse for car 43. That's exactly what I saw a lot of in practice. Just people losing it as they come from turn 1 down through 2. And that is Santana and Miles that's involved in their battle. Oh, Kimi Larson's lost a position to Evan Imre whilst we were talking about that. Oh, the Swede coming back at the Scotsman. Who's going to come good from this one? Evans is going to nose ahead, but Kimi's gone wide, and that's Ross Woodford that's jumped through on the inside. And Sarah Dove looking to do the same. Oh, and now side by side, Besides going to have the outside. Here comes Kimi Larson's going to try and get alongside Ross Woodford. Coming through turn 9 and back up the hill. Oh, don't push Sarah Dove off the road. Sarah's now going to the inside for 10. And that is Kimi down to 12th in a matter of corners.
Yeah, that's how good it can go. Also, Gadamer in front of the little train has to look out. 13 incident points.
Oh dear, Jordan Pierce has just spun.
I think he's happy they start to squabble behind him. He now has a 2-second gap down to Evan Imre.
I bet. Oh, Kanu Martinson's had a good drive coming through the S's, or Luke Barton's had a terrible one. Now going to draw side by side, streaming on down towards turn 4. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Luke Barton actually slots behind Canute. So he doesn't choose to fight that one as they carry on their drive through the turns. And Knut Martin now up to 5th position. As we were looking at Jordan Pierce having that spin, he was nudged by what I believe was Marcel Miles. So there may be words said about that particular impact towards the end of the race. Conor Ryan and David Santana close together, as is that ahead of them is Tessier, Alain Tessier and Marcus Volmuth, also involved in a battle. So many scraps as we are in the closing stages of this feature race. It is impossible to keep up with all of them, and that is Conor Ryan trying to get alongside David Santana. Can't quite make it happen though, but so much to fight for. Excellent driving by our drivers by and large. Nicely done. But Marcel is still 1.4 seconds with 2 laps to go. It's difficult to catch your breath.
Indeed, looks like we should be up on the final lap now. Illbrand crossed the line with just over a minute to go, and with a lap time of around 1:25, that should be the final one now.
Could be. The overlay still says 2 laps to go, but it is a timed race, so if the timer runs out before Paul Illbrand makes it to the line, then it will be the checkered flag. And well spotted there, Simon. The overlays caught me out several times in the pass as Ross Woodford is getting right under the rear wing of Evan Imre, with Sarah Dove in hot pursuit as well. That is very close between these 3. Evan Imre leads the train, but is going to have a lot of defending coming into turn 4. Who is going to be the last of the late breakers between these guys? Initially looking at 3 wide, but no, Evan covers off the line. Ross Woodford doesn't get alongside. And on they go. The checkered flag, I think, is out. Yep, we can see that the overlays change the final lap as Paul Illbrand charges up the hill and is going to take the win unless he sticks it in the pit wall, which of course he's not going to do. Your winner of the feature race here in Brazil is car number 10 for Radicals Online. It is Paul Illbrand, very closely followed by the RaceBot SimRC car of Marcel Fassmann and Charlie Summers hold on to the final podium spot. There is Christoph Holstein starting from last, finished in 4th. Great effort for him. Knut is going to take 5th position, chased home by Luke Barton. That position changing in the last few laps. Then it's Tom van Hooyman, very lonely 7th for him. Gadamer opened up 4 seconds in the end from the gap from the pack he was in to where he now stands. And Evan is look at that, it's Ross Woodford and Sarah Dove. Who's going to win out on that one? It's going to be so close. Who's going to cross the line? And Ross Woodford just manages by 29 thousandths of a second, just fends off Sarah Dove, but only just to hold on to that last top 10.
Absolute photo finish there between Woodford and Dove, and that was for top 10 as well.
Oh wow, very nicely done. Do we have? Oh, that's Marcus Volmuth is missing vital bits of car as he's come over the line, so he's had an issue on the final lap. Jordan Pierce has crossed the line. Alex Bennett is done. Matt Beard is going. I think Matt is the last one to cross the line, because I'm sure he was just ahead of his teammate when the race leader crossed the line. So just wait for Matt to cross. There he is, classified in. He's actually 20th. The slightly wrong there. Right. So then, Paul Illbrand takes the win with Fassbender 2, Summers 3, Holstein 4, Martinson 5, Barton 6, Hooyman 7, Gadamer 8, Imre 9, Woodford 10, Dove 11, Larson 12, Lindstrom 13, Tessier 14, Ryan 15, Miles 16, Volmuth 17, Pierce 18, Bennett 19, Beard 20th. Then those at lap down was Santana, Varani, Butelar. Butelar down with didn't see the flag, so there'll be Butelar, Schmidt, Boucher, Morris, Cortese, Emerson, Nolden, Osterkamp, Reed and Kessler. So as you said earlier, Simon, lots of big names didn't see the flag. So this is going to blow the championship wide open.
Indeed, especially Osterkamp retiring so early on.
Indeed, indeed. Wow, we have a little bit of time to catch our breath. And we do hope you stay with us for the sprint race that will follow as soon as the session is made. So do come back to us. We'll get the second session set up for you as soon as we can. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AOR iRacing Formula 3 League Season 2, Round 2 here at the Interlagos track. We're just rejoining the session to get the sprint race underway. You saw our introduction video there that shows what we over here at AOR get up to. Lots of things alongside iRacing, of course. Let me just bring my co-commentator back in because I just realised I've forgotten to do so. Rejoining the session now. Simon, are you still with me, sir?
I am indeed.
What an amazing feature race we've just had.
Indeed it was. Absolutely intense, even to the line for some people like Sarah Dove and Rush Woodford.
Yeah, 29 thousandths of a second between them. Just denied Sarah Dove a top 10 finish, but there were some amazing races, or racing I should say, from quite a number of our competitors. Not everybody survived unscathed, of course, but some great racing nonetheless. But what a great effort there from Paul Hilbrink to get the strategy absolutely perfect to steal the win from Fassbender.
Indeed, absolutely. Did it amazing on the overcut. Managed to buy out time and time from Fassbender. Well, then took the pistol when he had to with the few minutes to go, which helped him a lot. Also, I had Alex Smith as a good friend actually chat to me on this break, and he actually said that the reason he cut in front of Ulbrich and spun was because of damage apparently.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he had a hairpin bin, and someone kind of accident down about turn 4 after his pit stop. So.
Right. Well, we're just waiting for our drivers to return to us. Here, noise in the background. It's just a practice session that is going on. Drivers, whilst everybody reconnects to the session, of course, it's a brand new session that gets set up. A new qualifying session will go on. Same as before. Everybody will have the track to themselves. Ooh, sorry, that was getting a bit closer somewhere. Yeah, those two scrapping in the last session, and they are doing so in this practice session as well. Ooh, that's a little close. So yes, so everybody will have the track to themselves for qualifying, but it is one shot only. They only get one lap. Christoph getting a 1:25.2 on the board. It shows he has got the pace in that car, as was certainly proven the fact that he went from last up to 4th in the last race brilliantly well. So we will see how, because not everybody likes a sort of single shot qualifying. Some people need a few laps to get the best out of their cars and to get a feel for how the lap's going. But they have no such luck this time. So when we change session, once all the drivers are in, one shot qualifying, so they have the out lap, time lap, and that is it. That's all they get.
And it's all about nailing. We saw back in Imola how people were struggling to make that one lap count. So multiple people, believe even Fassbender, who had pole in the previous qualifying for the feature race, he had his lap validated, and that's it. You can't do any more.
Yep. One shot only, timed on. If you invalidate it, tough. You are going to the back of the field. You're going to have a long day. So as a reminder for, just bring up the session details. There they are. So 25 minutes, 13 incident limit as well. So they don't have too many to play with. I don't think anybody was binned out with hitting the incident limit. Admittedly, I didn't get a chance to look.
I think we had 3 people who actually hit the incident limit last time around.
So we did have a few that pushed their luck a little bit too hard. But we'll see if and we had a few people end up backwards in the wall. So we will hopefully people will avoid doing that. Oh no! So did I say that? I just cut to Kerry Nolden, who was sideways into the wall. That looked like somewhere around turn 1. Again, if these go on.
Interesting for this sprint race here is that it's actually set around an hour earlier than the feature race, which also means we have darker conditions.
Yes, I mean not too dark, obviously, but there's a fair amount less light going on. That is what it looks like if we ride on board with Kimi Larson. There's quite a distinct change in how the light is. Now some drivers may use like sort of shadows of things to judge braking points, which is again made much more difficult of late, of the last few patches, is, you know, with progressive sunlight and what have you, shadows and such like will move, so that sort of thing the drivers can't really do anymore. But this makes a big difference to tyre temperature as well. We saw what we thought was Fassbender struggling a bit with the tyre temperature. He may have picked up a bit of damage, but I'm not sure he did towards the end, because he was eventually matching the lap times of Ilbrink towards the last couple of laps. So I think he probably had just boiled his tyres to death, so then had to manage that.
Yeah, and boiling tyres normally just want to do the track, even though it's early in the morning. It's still quite hot. We're still in Brazil. Track temperature is still 22. It's only a degree lower than was in the feature race, but the sunlight and how that affects will affect during this race.
Absolutely. If I've counted right, I think we have 30 drivers back with us, so nearly everybody returning. So we should be getting this one-shot qualifying session underway very, very soon. Once again, we're seeing the familiar names towards the sharper end. Christoph Holstein currently on the top spot, and only 0.06 of a second behind is Phil Reed. Then René Osterkamp and Hobbs. So he will definitely need to have a bit of better luck. Patrick Kessler right up there as well.
Ocean lost it. Oh,
oops.
Ocean lost it. Ocean lost it into the corner right before going up the hill, and he almost collected someone else. Might have been Evan, maybe.
And my Facebook notifications decided to join in. Apologies for that. But yeah, so Phil Reed very, very close. Charlie Summers 7,000ths off the back of Patrick Kessler. So again, we're seeing very, very close times coming in. You can argue they're not too representative at this stage.
Well, we're getting into the one lap now. As someone decides to just sprint it over, just sprint wide from turn 1 and smash into a wall.
Nice. That's
to end off practice. Alternative way, you must say.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go then. We are in the 5-minute qualifying session, and look at what is sunrise. Let's get from René Osterkamp weaving his way through. Look at that lovely rising sun effect going on there as René is weaving around, getting as much heat as he can into those tyres. There's not a lot of air temperature to do it, so not
a lot of temperature and not a lot of laps to do it in. Oof. Holstein shows how back go.
Oops, yeah, that's not normally the best way of taking turn 3, but there's quite a few people have been out there over the course of the last few sessions, so we will see if he's able to keep that one on. He did pretty well to keep it straight and true last time. Of course, he's going to hope for the same again. We see Osterkamp. I think Osterkamp was one of the first people to come out of the pits, of course, because they're all on the track at the same time. If I jump to Charlie Summers, for instance, he's only half a dozen car lengths behind or so.
Also, in it's the sunrise. You can sort of see it now. I was starting to light up the track a bit, and going down, especially going down the hill towards the sunlight, can become a challenge.
In the cockpit of René Osterkamp, let's follow him through his lap then. He crosses the line and starts his one and only flying lap. Down through the gears into turn 1, catches the apex quite nicely, keeps the car nice and steady for 2, doesn't let the tail misbehave itself, really stays on the apex all the way through 3. Then straight lines it as much as he can towards that all-crucial turn 4. So much action there in the feature race, and I would imagine we're going to have a lot more of it in the sprint race. Catches the apex for 5 nicely, then for 4, then sweeps through the apex for 5. Suska back uphill through Ferragura, turn 6. Just lets the car wander over. He's not doing too much correction on the steering wheel, though he's just holding the car as it's trying to dance around right over as much apex as he dares. For turn 8, then through 9, back uphill again. Almost wanders over the grass, using every available inch of track through 10. Back down the hill again through Mugello, turn 11. Just kisses the apex where he dare. Then onto the AstroTurf on the right hand side for Jun Xiao, turn 12. And then then it is flat out all the way to the end of the lap. What is Rene Oskamp? One of our drivers going to get on the board through the last few turns, 13, 14 and 15, and streaming towards the pit wall, just misses that one. And for Rene, it is a 1:25.134. As it was Tom van Hooyman, I think, was one of the first to get that lap on the board. Or 1:32, I beg your pardon, for Rene Oskamp. Will that remain in pole? Kessler, 14 thousandths behind him. Oh, Christoph Holstein's got it. Charlie Summers is right in there. Fassbender has got the pole time now, breaking into the 24s yet again. Wow, absolutely amazing as all the times come in. Look at Gio Cortese, 1,000th of a second behind Kessler. They're in 6th position. Goodness me, once again, the time is very, very close. Gary Nolan comes in 7th position. Phil Reed.
There's 2 fun between Alex Boucher and Luca Verani as well.
Paul Ilbrink, our feature race winner, down in 7th. 1:25.3, which was kind of getting towards where the fastest lap was last time around, but goodness. You can't say Fassbender didn't pull that out when it needed. Goodness.
Nope.
Few people still to get their laps on the board. Gaydemeyer is still out there. There he is. Going to come across the line. What can he do? What can the Comrade Gaming 37 do? Let us see. It's a while to update. And it is 8th position with a 25.358. 49 thousandths off the back of Ilbrink. 63,000 ahead of Kerry Nolden. Ross Woodford, I would think his lap has been invalid.
Yeah, his lap has been validated.
So there's going to be 4 people at the back with invalid laps unless Morris is close. No, he's nowhere near.
Let's point the current there's 1 second between first place Marcel Fassbender to Marcus Wohlmuth in 19th.
Oh, brilliant!
That's a second. Looking at the intervals between 0.0, 0.0, 0.0, 0.0, 0.0. There's two until down towards 29th and 30th, where that's more than a tenth between people.
Here we go again. So it's Fassbender on the front row this time with Holstein, and then it is Summers, Osterkamp, Kessler, Cortese, Ilbrink, Gaydemeyer, Nolden, Martinson, Reed, Ryan, Van Hooyman, Imre, Verani, Boucher, Larson, Dove, Volmuth, Lindstrom, Tessier, Barton, Beard, Bennett, Santana, Schmidt, Morris, Woodford, Miles and Pierce are our 30 drivers taking part in this one. As everybody is gridding up there, that's looking back at Rene Osterkamp, who is on that all-crucial... Well, he's on the second row with Holstein right ahead of him. There they are. Ooh, is this really tense moment as everyone is gridding up for this 25-minute race, around about 18 laps, give or take. Haven't really seen many more from the blimp camp. So just waiting on the last few people to get into session. And then we will get going. Come on. This is so intense.
For 3 different people.
Yep, just waiting on 3 more to jump in. Come on, gentlemen. You'll be forced.
Luke Barton, Dale, Jim Morton look like Paul Ilbrink. Unless Ilbrink has cleared up, it look like. Yeah.
A couple of people may be struggling a little bit at this stage, but well, in 15 seconds they're going whether they like it or not. So they'd best ready up, do what they need to do. Otherwise it's going to be either a non-start or a pit lane start for them. Well, here we go then. That counter has run out, so we should be getting this race underway any second now. From our side, they just get going. There they go. We're racing for the sprint race here at Interlagos. Then can Holstein do anything on the run down towards turn 1 to dethrone Fassbender? Yes, he can. He's got the inside apex. What a stunning start for Holstein. He's got up into the lead. And then right behind Charlie Summers, he's up there into 3rd. That is Of course, Rennie Osterkamp already behind now. Here come the side-by-sides. Is anyone... I think Daniel Morris has failed to start. We've actually lost a couple of the cars before the race has gotten underway. Looks like everybody's made it through so far. Charlie Summers getting very, very close to Fassbender. And Cortese is side-by-side with Kessler. And lots of side-by-side going on. Looks like...
Summers. It was Summers.
Who was it? That's
Summers on the inside of Fassbender.
Oh, so I thought someone had actually gone off, but yes, it's indeed Charlie Summers challenging Marcel Fassbender for second position. Oh, Charlie's wanted a little bit wide. He's going to have the inside of the next apex. Oh, bit of a twitch then for Marcel Fassbender as he's trying to avoid impact with Charlie Summers. Osterkamp looks on. Looks like he was may have been shaping up for a move, but not just yet on Marcel. But through they come then. Holstein gone up into the lead of this race. They're not by a great deal. There's about 6.5 tenths between Holstein and Summers. We get the forward interface back on. There we go. Streaming on down towards the line to complete the first racing lap. Oh, and there goes Fassbender on the inside of Holstein. Jumped out the very, very last... Fassbender the inside of Summers, beg your pardon. Fassbender chose the very last second to make that move count. And here comes Osterkamp looking to do exactly the same thing on Charlie Summers. There he goes, but Charlie is trying to get a slipstream on the other racebook car, but he had nowhere to go. He was boxed in. That was a lovely move, and whether it was planned or not, Rennie Osterkamp didn't let Charlie Summers move anywhere, so Charlie could not make the move on Marcel. Now Marcel's starting to stretch his legs a little bit. Rennie Osterkamp playing a bit of rear gunner on Charlie Summers. Charlie trying to do something about it, coming through turn 7. He's still alongside. No, he's going to tuck right behind. There you see Patrick Kessler is not too far behind. He wants to get involved in the action. Lots of racing, of course, throughout the field. We get to the blimp cam. We'll see a little bit further down the field. There is Kessler with Paul Ilbrink, our feature race winner. He's got Kerry Nolden and Phil Reed in very short order. There's Gaydomere right with them. He hasn't had a great start. He's down into 9th now. And that right behind is Gio Cortese. He seems to have he started 6th. He's had a terrible start. But now down in 10th position for the NWS Esports car number 55. And here they come streaming on through. Not seeing any huge gaps between anybody at the moment. Have we lost anyone so far? I think we lost Daniel Morris on the opening, which is a bit of a shame. Anyone else had any troubles that you can see there, Simon?
Not really, no. Excellent done by Osterkamp and Fassbender to the teammate to prevent Charlie Summers from being able to do the counter move on Fassbender down towards turn 4.
Absolutely, and there's Ilbrink that's looking to shape up a move on Kessler. Phil Reed looking to try and defend against Kerry Nolden. Lots of fighting going on. Knut Martinson's in a battle with Connor Ryan. That's for 11th position. Knut's sparring partner from last time around, Luke Barton, is in a right old scrap there with Alexis Boucher and David Santana. He's stuck in the middle of those two. There's a bit side-by-side going on in the background. I think it was Woodford. It was indeed. There's Alain Tessier and Kimi Larson involved in that battle. Oh, Kerry's round. Kerry Nolden's had trouble. What has happened to him? He was right with Phil Reed. Oh, there's the tail. He went to catch it, but he overcooked the correction and then went off at the top of the hill there at turn 8, I think that is. So he's right way down there, 20th now. What a disaster for Kerry Nolden.
Indeed it is. Again, we'll talk about the rear end is loose. It's apparently quite loose on these cars, and even though correcting was the problem there, even though
Heading on down towards turn 1 again. Holstein fends off Fassbender. Osterkamp fends off Summers as Gaydomere is making a move. Oh, and I think he's managed to get past Connor Ryan. He's looking at Gio Cortese now as Fassbender gets the first lap under 125 with that 24.974. He is looking to challenge Holstein, and there's Summers challenging Osterkamp. Rene doing a great rear gunner effort there for Marcel Fassbender, but Holstein's having none of it. He's hanging on to the lead with everything he's got. And there goes Summers again, jumping to the outside. Osterkamp, nearly been shoved off the road for that effort. But no, again, Charlie Summers is being left nowhere to go. Rene doing a brilliant defensive job there, which is really weird. We're used to seeing Osterkamp just run off into the distance. He's not having that kind of luck this season so far. Again, we're only in round 2, I grant you. But it's not just kind of running off in the distance as we saw last time, which, well, I'm quite happy about because there's lots of scrapping going on as we're seeing, but he's not afraid to play the rear gunner for his teammate. Absolutely brilliant stuff and doing a pretty good job of it as well. Back at the hill. Go on.
Yeah, Oscar really doing that rear gunner job for Fassbender, keeping Charlie so much behind him, making sure and just trying to make sure someone can get ahead of him and then have him go with Charles Fassbender, who's currently trying to Holstein.
Kimi Larson in the pits again. As Charlie Summers.
Holstein.
Yeah, Holstein. Yeah, but he's lost the lead to Fassbender. Fassbender dived exactly as he did on Summers. He's dived to the inside of the very last second to take the lead. Here comes Holstein, car number 9. Can he attack back on Fassbender? Fassbender's has some stunning laps so far. He's going to get close, but not close enough. And there again is Osterkamp and Summers side by side coming up towards turn 4. But Charlie cannot yet work his way past the Sim RC car 29. Is Charlie going to have a look at the inside? Rene's left the door open. Charlie is going to get a run. Can he get alongside? Can he get the move done? Is the important part. He's alongside, he's through, but can he complete the move? And yes, he does. That's Charlie Summers up into 3rd position. That was a lovely move. He planned that a long time in advance. 1.3 seconds separates Holstein and Summers at the moment, as Holstein hangs on to the back of Fassbender as best he can. There's a few people asking how Alex Bennett is doing. There he is, in 24th position. It's his first race on the wheel apparently, so fair play to you. He's still in his starting position, but he's got a lot of people already ahead of him. Marcel Myers, Matt Beard, Ross Woodford. He has some very, very talented drivers. Marcus Vulmuth, Santana, Nolden. Yeah, he's got a lot of company there in 24 at the moment, so he may well look to challenge. Here we are back up to the front. There's Holstein again keeping Fassbender for company, and Summers is back behind Rene Osterkamp. So the traditional slipstream move has gone back on Charlie Summers now. So this is going to be punch and counter-punch, hopefully to the end of the race.
Well, we all lost a few drivers, Verani and Tessia, as parked the car, but it looks like it was after contact after Tessia hit the rear of Kimi Larson into turn 5.
Oh, that's a lot of fighting. Sorry to cut you off, Simon. That was a lot of fighting coming into turn 4. Kessler's wide. Oh no, Ganymed spun. Ganymed spun. He's facing the wrong way at turn 4. That's a horrible place. And there you go. Whether he had his nose cut off there or not entirely certain, but oh, he needs to be very careful how he rejoins the track. He is going again, but right the way down there in 22nd, he joins Alex Bennett, who we've just been looking at, along with Miles Beard, Vulmuth, Ross Woodford is right there as well. Oh my goodness, that was a big dramatic moment there for Dominic Gaydemeyer. But up front, Holstein still keeps Marcel Fassbender for company, but Fassbender was considerably quicker last time around, 7/10 faster than car number 9, and that is beginning now to pay off as Summers is back ahead of Osterkamp. We did see Osterkamp very, very slow at the bottom of turn 3. He's actually got Paul Ilbring for company. Here comes Radicals Online number 10 to challenge Osterkamp. Is he going to go around the outside of turn 1? No, he's going to tuck him behind. Oh, no, he's not. I thought he was going to tuck him behind Osterkamp. No, still side by side through turn 3. Osterkamp's nose back ahead again, but he's going to, as Ilbring picks up another helping a slipstream. Osterkamp's not letting him have it that easily. Now coming into turn 4. What's going to happen here? That's very close. And Ilbring's got him. Wow, that was a very confident move then from car number 10. Paul Ilbring up into 4th position. Wow, nicely done. Phil Reed, his race has gone horribly wrong. He's down in 18th now, right behind Ross Woodford. Started 11th, right the way down the field now. So his race has undone itself. Great shame for him. But Rene Osterkamp doing what he can to try and hang on to the back of. He was challenging for those earlier podium positions, but now Paul Ilbring's in the mixture. He's got 2 seconds to close down on Charlie Summers, but we've seen how quick and how there's no strategy call, there's no pit stops involved in this particular race, but we've seen how quick Ilbring is, so we'll see if he can drag himself back into the fight.
Well, Ilbring is chasing the double the foot that like Osterkamp got last time out. He wants to get from this race, from this round.
Streaming on down towards turn 1 again, come our leaders, and again Osterkamp keeping himself known in the mirrors of Paul Ilbring as they stream through. those first few turns again. So close. Now Ilbring's going to have to play the defensive game. They head down towards that all-crucial turn 4. Is he going to defend the inside line? No, Osterkamp didn't go for it. It looked like Osterkamp backed out of it. He wasn't convinced on trying to move that close to turn 4, and that's absolutely fine. Now coming back up the hill again. As Fassbender continues to stretch his legs up front, another 10th quicker than Holstein last time around. So he is still pressing on. Summers 1.4 behind Holstein, ever so slightly quicker by something like 25 thousandths of a second. Summers over Holstein, so they are pretty much matching each other.
And they also a bit further back. Conor Ryan is done a little bit of a train behind him now. BJ with the pressures such as Tom Hoyman, Knut Martin and Evan Emre.
Indeed, Knut is very close to Tom van Hoyman as they are challenging for 9th position. Coming through, Jun Xiao is going to come up the hill again. Is Knut going to have the momentum to try and make a move on car 77? He's a little bit far back, I think, but he could well bring himself back into contention. There's Fassbender again. Bear in mind, Marcel is not slipstreaming off of anybody. That's just raw pace from car number 49. Knut, no, he's not going to be close enough to make a move this time. He keeps himself very much in the rearview mirrors of Tom van Hoyman as they come down through the centre S's again. Oh, there, that's Cortese.
Cortese off, yeah.
What happened to Hughes? The tail just let go. Oh, he just caught the apex there at turn 2. Unsettled the rear. We know how lively these things are, and he had to reverse to get the line he wanted. He didn't want to make an unsafe rejoin, which is quite wise considering it's quite difficult to avoid anybody there at the best of times. So well played there from Cortese. That puts him right the way down in 20th. So no impact, but has lost a tremendous amount of time. Gary Nolden is on the tail of Alexis Boucher, I believe that is. Yep, it is indeed. So that's for 13th position. It's not what Gary would have wanted. That's the nature of the beast, though. That's just how quickly the fate can change. Oh, he's having to jump to the outside. Alexis is defending the racing line, perfectly entitled to do so. That's the view from Kerry Nolden as he continues to chase that double livery. I did wonder where he was going to make a move into the inside of 12 there, but he's going to do, I would think, Kerry Nolden is going to do the traditional slipstreaming move heading into turn 1. You will want to get that done long before he gets there. There's quite a few people ahead of inside of Luke Barton, Evan Imre further down the road. There goes Kerry Nolden. That is going to be 13th position to him. Paul Ilbring. Oh, and that right ahead, you saw Luke Barton diving out from Evan Imre, but not able to make the move done. But another move that's potential. Paul Ilbring's on the back of Charlie Summers. That's a potential podium then for Ilbrink.
Yeah, Ilbrink has been catching up to Charles rapidly over the last 1-2 laps. And he has Paul Osterkamp with him as well.
He certainly did. Oh, Imre has lost that position to Barton, sort of keeping an eye on the timings. Van Hoyman is side by side with Knut Martinsson. Knut's going to have the inside line, and that's 8th position for the AOR Yellow Racer. Nicely done there for Knut, but keeping an eye on Paul Ilbrink. Osterkamp is still there looming. So they come through turn 11. Yeah, Ilbrink has been on an absolute charge. He's been matching Marcel Fassbender's pace for the last few laps, but he's 4.8 seconds behind the leader with just under 11 minutes to do anything about it. So we will see what he can do. Well in the slipstream of Charlie now. Through the pit lane exit, or pit lane entrance rather.
Come up the exit there.
He's going to be too far back, isn't he? Ooh, that gets very close when the camera's on the nose. Oh, Matt Beard's round. Matt Beard's had trouble. Oh, we just caught the end of that. Let's go back a little bit further. Oh, he's lost that up at Jun Xiao. There he goes, just where the tail just lets go. Ooh, he had to slam on the anchors there. He didn't want to get in the way of whoever that was streaming through. So, again, that's another casualty of the loose tail. Oh, Ilbrink and Charlie Summers very close. So Paul Ilbrink wasn't able to get that done at turn 4. They've climbed up the hill very, very close. Now through 8, down the hill to 9.
Ilbrink is all over the gearbox of so much right now. just looking for a way through.
Saradov, sorry again to cut you off there, Simons. I saw Saradov and Kerry Nolan very, very close together. Kerry now ahead of Alexis, as we thought that would happen down at turn 1, but Sari was challenging Evan Imre. That's a hell of a train that is going on there. That's got Luke Barden at the head of it. And just ahead of them is Tom van Hooyman and Kanu Martinsen. So that's a hell of a scrap going on down there. Keeping an eye on Ilbrink though. 3/10 off the back of Charlie Summers. Surely this time is going to be the opportunity for Paul Ilbrink to pull himself into podium contention. Charlie stays to the racing line. Here comes Paul Ilbrink. Car number 10 is going to stream on through. Take the inside line. Charlie saw that one coming. And through into third position goes Paul Ilbrink. 4.4 seconds to close down to the leader. 2.4 to close down to Christoph Holstein. Is Charlie going to return the favour along the straight? Here he comes, Slipstream, and that's how strong it is. Side by side heading down towards turn 4. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers this time? Ilbrink hangs on in there, still side by side. Just about keeps it on the road. Still side by side. He wants the inside line for the next 2 apexes. Can't return to the racing line. Charlie's still in it. And now it's going to be advantage Ilbrink. And that is going to be positioned back to car number 10. But Charlie's hanging on in there. That was very well driven by the pair of them. But that is Paul Ilbrink's position. That has cost them time, of course, with that scrap going on. They don't have a lot of it. Only 8 minutes. There's René Osterkamp now on the back of Charlie Summers. So that squabble is not resolved by any stretch of the imagination. And that could last a while, but Ilbrink's got a lot of pace. He wants to get off after Holstein.
Looks like Sean was actually one a bit wide out of Punchal.
Yeah, yeah, he's falling into the clutches of René Osterkamp. Oh, René actually backed out of it. He didn't commit to the move. That's an unusual one, and got as fast as that was. It was at it. So interesting.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
And fast as that when he backed out of it as well. So that's an unusual one for Osterkamp. So not quite sure what his plan is there. He could be just leaving the charge to the very last second as he doesn't want to get counter-punched on this straight. That is what I imagine is running through his mind, but he's piling the pressure on Charlie Summers. Look at this. That is what 2.5 tenths looks like in these cars. Over the hill through turn 6. Oh, and René couldn't hold on to the inside line. Charlie's wandered a little bit wide on the exit of 7. Now into 8. What is René going to do? Just looming, ready to pounce at any given moment.
René seems to be waiting for Charlie to make a mistake and then pounce on that. Both to get past and then to make sure he has a gap to defend.
Yeah, even though it's a sprint race, even though it's shorter, the shorter of the 2 races, there's still strategy to play out. There is still strategic thinking that you need to put into place. Otherwise, it just ends up being punch and counter punch over and over and over again. So they still have to think about what they're doing and when they're doing it. But surely René's going to get it done this time unless he backs off again. He does again. René is just staying in that position. He's not looking to commit to the move. He easily had the pace to draw alongside, but opted not to do it.
Yeah, interesting what Osterkamp is doing. He's being very patient with making his move. I think he knows that ulting into turn 1 is a disadvantage, because then you have down the straight which is passed into turn 4, which is where Charles Thomas could then come back.
Which he tried to, but you know, René couldn't quite complete the move. He was drew alongside, but Charlie was able to defend it. But that's allowing Ilbrink to start to run off. There's now over a second between Summers and Ilbrink. Ilbrink's got 3.1 seconds to close down to Holstein. That's going to be quite an ask to do in 5 laps. Unless Holstein had a problem. Holstein's last lap was actually invalid, so Holstein may well push a little bit too hard. Let's have a quick look at the incident limit. There's a few big numbers towards the back. Gaydermeyer, Volmuth on 10. That is Alex Bennett on 11. And Alex Schmidt in 25th on 12. So Alex is going to be very careful that he doesn't clock up too many. He's only got one more point. If he gets one more off track, he's gone. You know, there's no coming back for that. You are just instantly removed from the race. Rene Osterkamp again very close to Charlie Summers, but again not making the move. I think he's just biding his time. He's probably realising he's not quite got the pace to chase off after those in front, which seems such a strange thing to say when you're talking about Rene Osterkamp of all people. Charlie defending the inside line, coming towards 4. That he only wants to make the move down here. It's much more difficult to counterpunch after turn 4. We've seen it happen, but turn 4 seems to be kind of a prime overtaking spot, and I think Osterkamp wants to get the move done there. Before that, I did wonder whether he was going to cut underneath Charlie then, coming into turn 6.
But Osterkamp wants to do it into turn 6 most places, because that's where you get into the where it starts to get a bit more complex. You've got a few more corners, which makes it hard to stay side by side.
Very true. So again, the strategic thinking of Rene Osterkamp coming out. Fassbender's lost 4/10 to Holstein. Holstein did his personal best, 1:25.0 last time around. Marcel was a 25.4. That's allowed Holstein to close the gap a bit. Not in striking range yet. 3 seconds back is Paul Ilbrink in a strong podium position. There is the top 5 in that shot. Rene Osterkamp again is likely to just bide his time. Gets very close. Oh no! Now he decides to go. Now he's confident in going for that inside line. Will Charlie attack him back? Wandered a little bit off the apex.
Charlie's going to try to back. See how he goes for the slipstream now.
There he goes.
Osterkamp just takes that inside spot.
Yeah, Rene now much more on the offensive, much more attacking that position that Charlie's held for so long. And Charlie can't get the move done before they come through 4 and 5. Going to draw alongside again. He's going to have the outside through Ferragura. That's not going to really work out for Charlie Summers. He's going to have to tuck back underneath the rear wing of Rene Osterkamp and try again next time around, or try and force Rene into a mistake. Rene a little bit wide, but then he has the inside. Charlie's gone. Charlie's let the rear just let go on him yet again.
Trying so well, attack Osterkamp who played that, who drove that style so intelligently, always going for the inside line into the next corners, positioning himself in a way that made sure that Summers had to go around the outside.
Yeah, brilliantly done. Just at the very last there, it's, the tail just let go on Charlie Summers. He doesn't have much time to do anything about it. Back up front, both of our leaders, 25.0, 25.092 for Marcel and 0.69 for Holstein. So, and 0.57 for Ilbrink. The top 3 all 25.0. That's absolutely amazing. What's Conor Ryan doing? He's Charlie Summers just attacked him back for that 6th position. So nothing much has happened there. Conor Ryan, is he going to attack back? No, Conor doesn't fancy having a crack back at Charlie Summers. You realistically know who you're in a battle with, so he's going to stick behind him and remain in the slipstream. Only a couple of laps to go, so he doesn't want to do anything silly and jeopardise a pretty strong position. What's going on with Kerry Nolden and Tom Van Neumann? Tom holding on to... Oh, Kerry's gone! Exactly the same thing. The tail just let go, but he's bounced off the wall. Oh, no, and Kerry's out. That is a retirement for Kerry Nolden. Oh,
hit into the wall. Very hard into the wall.
Conor Ryan hanging on to the back of Charlie Summers, as we thought. So he's just going to stay in the slipstream. He's going to hope to close in the gap to Patrick Kessler, but there is that gap of 1.9 seconds. A little bit long, I'd have thought, to close in. Let's have a look up front. There's Marcel Fassbender, 1.5 seconds between himself and Holstein. Doesn't have to do anything silly.
Going on to the final lap.
Indeed, they are. There's 40 seconds on the clock, so they've beaten the flag. The overlay reporting final lap. 25.2 for Fassbender, 25.0 for Holstein. So Holstein wringing the neck of that car, getting everything out of it that he can. Marcel just backing off a tiny bit from what he can do just to bring the car home. But still a few kilometres to do. Anything can happen. We've seen how quickly the tower can let go. And that is basically what Christoph Holstein's going to be hoping for, is that trouble befalls Marcel Fassbender. But what a great effort from Marcel. At this rate, he's looking at getting the clean sweep of pole, fastest lap and race win. If he had 0 on the incident board, that would be every single point you could possibly get. Only a couple of people have that honour. Patrick Kessler in 5th is 0. along with Alexis Boucher in 14th. In fact, it's just those two, from what I can see.
Yeah. A few ones as well in spring of that. Evan, Imre, Jude Martinson.
So nicely done. Here comes Marcel, last few turns. That gap down to about 1.3, but it's not going to be close enough. Your winner here in the sprint race for Interlagos is going to be car number 49. It is Marcel Fassbender, very closely followed by car number 9, Christoph Holstein. Paul Ilbring rounds out the podium there in third. Rene is going to take fourth. Then Kessler is going to be chased home in fifth position. Charlie Summers on a great recovery drive, but will finish no higher than
Neumann.
Yep.
But Reed actually gets us on the line.
Oh, he did. Luke Barton. Big Barton. Phil Reed by 30 thousandths of a second has just stolen that last top 10 spot. Exactly, very Sarah Daves from the last time around. Speaking of, there she is in 12th. Evan was chased home by 3, also 30 thousandths of a second from Cortese. And Alexis Boucher was only 76,000 behind, so that was a great three-way battle there to round out the top 15. Who else is still running?
Alex Schmidt was to be the final driver to come around.
Indeed. Wow, we lost quite a few then. We lost 7 cars from that 18-lap race. So that's quite a high attrition rate considering I don't think we lost that many in the entirety of the feature race. And that's the way it goes sometimes. As Alex comes over the line, bit of a wiggle, and throws it into the wall in true iRacing tradition. So let's have...
tradition.
Indeed. So let's get the results confirmed then. There they are. So it is Fassbender, Holstein, Elbrink, Osterkamp, Kessler, Summers, Ryan, Martinson, Barton, Reed, Heumann, Dove, Imre, Cortese, Boucher, Woodford, Lindstrom, Volmuth, Morris, Bennett, Pierce, Beard, Gaidemeyer, Schmidt, and then those that didn't see the flag were Nolden, Miles, Santana, Larson, Varani, and Tessier. Whew.
What a race.
What a race.
Someone was doing donuts inside the pit lane.
Nice. And we have someone wanting to have a chat to us. Let's grab him in.
Very good start.
Hello, Mr. Holstein.
Hello, how you doing?
Well, we had a lot of fun. What an interesting evening for you. So, starting last and finishing 4th in the feature race, and then chasing towards the victory for the sprint race. That's been quite an evening for you tonight.
Oh, definitely. It was pretty much like both races were almost to perfection, I would say. Especially like the first one obviously had the qualifying from my shenanigans from last week, which was obviously deserved, I guess. And then, yeah, the strategy was pretty clear for me. Just pit on lap 1 and then try to not battle as many people as possible. And then, yeah, I mean, finishing P4 in that is kind of insane. And I knew from practice that my pace was really, really good. And unfortunately, I couldn't quite hang on to Marcel's slipstream once he passed me back. Which was a bit of a bummer because the pace was definitely good towards the end of the race. But still, I mean, I can't really complain. Both of these races were really, really good for me, I guess.
Absolutely, bravo. It was great to watch your various battles. How are you feeling for the season moving forward?
To be honest, at the moment, really, I can say I've never felt more confident in an open wheeler car. I always struggle with it so much with consistency and stuff like that. But Imola, even though it's really a bogey track for me, wasn't too bad. Pace-wise, obviously the results was a bit meh. But and here it was really, really good. So I don't know. I have not had the best seasons normally in the open wheelers, and this time around I feel really good. So yeah, I don't know.
Awesome stuff. Well, we look forward to your season to come, sir.
And thank you very much for broadcasting, by the way.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Right, we have a few more people that have come to join us. Let's grab over the next one in line, which is going to be Tom Van Hooyman. Hello to you, sir.
Hello.
How are you feeling after that one?
I was literally smashing my wheel because the last corner didn't go well for me. So Phil got me at the end with 0.003 of a second, something like that.
30 thousandths of a second, so 300ths separated you. And ironically, Evan Imre, I believe it was, had exactly the same gap in his battles. So you were, if there's any consolation, you weren't alone. But you've got some pretty strong results from this evening's race. Were you looking forward? Were you thinking you were on for a decent result here, or were you quite happy, quite surprised with the results you've got?
Yeah, I did a lot of practice, to be honest, for this race as well. Just like Imola. Imola came for me as a surprise, really, to get P4 and 6. What did I go? P7 or something, P8 in the future race was a surprise for me as well, because a lot of fast guys got in an incident and I got it quite clean. So that was a plus for me as well. In the sprint race, I was happy I got P9, but yeah, like I said, I'm not very consistent at this track. It's quite hard to get it done every lap after lap. So sometimes I was making just that little mistakes. But yeah, like you've seen maybe on the broadcast, it cost me P10, and I was furious about that because I was smashing my wheel and everything. Because I really wanted that P10. But yeah, still to be fair, very good results. This is the best season start I've ever got in AOY, to be fair. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the season. Zandvoort for me is also a good track, so hoping to get both races top 10 there as well.
Awesome. We look forward to seeing it, Tom.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you kindly. Let's have a word with our feature race winner. Paul Ilbrink joins us in the box. Hello to you, Paul.
Hello.
Well, aren't you having a strong debut season here at AWA? Goodness.
Yeah, it's not going too bad so far, so I'm pretty happy with it. Even with last week's performance, even though there were some flaws from my side in that one, but today went pretty well aside from qualifying for the second race, which was a bit of a shame.
Very much a shame. I mean, looking at your battles with Marcel, particularly in the feature race, wow, your heart must have been up in your mouth at that stage. What was going through your mind when you were just, passing and being passed by Marcel towards the closing stages of the feature race?
Well, the only thing I was pretty much thinking was, I hope I don't make contact and crash. So that went all right, and yeah, he was like really strong in the first race as well on pace. Like, I don't think I was any quicker than him, but with me stopping quite a bit later, and I don't know, I think my tires were like in a slightly better condition at that point, and I managed to like get a small gap, lose him from my draft, and could continue to lead to the win there. So that was nice.
Absolutely well played, well strategized in the first race. So, do you think that the time that you lost in the sprint race is purely down to qualifying?
It didn't help that I started. I had to overtake a couple of guys, but I don't know. I mean, maybe if I started second, I could have like had the same fight with Marcel again. But I've been like having an eye on the gap throughout the race, and he was like really quick. So he's the rightful winner for sure.
Very gracious of you there, Paul. Really looking forward to seeing the season unfold. Great effort, well done, and good luck for the future races.
Thank you.
We don't often get to speak to Mr. Imre, so let's grab him over. Hello, Evan Imre.
Hello there.
Behave yourself in the commentary box.
Wow. All right.
Well, I mean, you had some real amazing battles of your own there, Evan. Talk us through things from your side.
Well, I mean, Thursday practice, it was looking quite bleak, and then I came into my rig tonight, and boy, I actually had some pace, so qualified mid 15th, 16th in the feature, and then made a couple of passes, but then I pitted early because there was a fight starting to brew, although pitting early didn't really make a difference. But in the end, I was fighting for top 10, and I passed Kimi, who was really struggling, which is a surprise considering Kimi's a big world-class esports driver. And then I had a fight with Sarah, my teammate, at the end. Well, she didn't quite get close enough in the feature race, but I'm absolutely chuffed with 9th place considering how Thursday went. And then in the sprint race, of course, it was about avoiding the people that spun out in front, and I had a fight with Sarah for quite a few laps, and just we had the little touch at turn 4, so that sent me wide, and then last lap had defending for my life against was it Alexis? I'm not sure, and Erka, and just picked them both to the line. So good points overall from both races. Yeah.
Great effort, well done, and good luck for the remainder of the season, Mr. Imre.
Thank you very much.
Speaking of Sarah Dove, she's the last one to make herself available, so let's drag her over. There she is. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
How are you feeling after that one? Some very, very close battles. We watched your feature race finish so agonisingly close to the top 10. How are you feeling after tonight's festivities?
I'm pretty happy, and it could have been better. I could have had 10th in both races, I think. But I just wasn't able to keep the sort of like momentum of passing people and stuff. I kind of got stuck and bogged down a bit, especially at the start of both races.
I was going to say, obviously at the start of any race is always very, very tightly compact, particularly from a standing start. How do you kind of just manage being that kind of close proximity in a car that, let's face it, is skitty at the best of times? So impact is going to always be very, very lethal. What kind of goes through your mind when you're in that kind of close proximity racing, or do you just kind of focus on lines, braking points and what have you?
I kind of focus on keeping not like a huge amount, but some distance between cars. I never go super close on the first lap or two, because there's so many people around and everybody's braking differently and taking different lines. So I always try and leave enough space so that if something happens I can react to it and try and avoid it.
Excellent stuff. Looking forward to the remainder of the season?
Yeah, it's going a lot better than last season so far. And I'm feeling happier with the car and more confident. So.
Excellent. We look forward to some strong results from you as the season progresses. Thank you very much, Sarah, for joining us.
Thank you.
That's going to wrap it up for this evening. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream. A great pleasure to have you along with us. Thank you, Simon, for joining me in the commentary box, keeping me on the straight and narrow. It's always a great pleasure, sir.
No problem.
And do come back to us. We have plenty of racing to entertain you guys with, you lovely viewers. So do come back to us as quickly as you can. Plenty of racing throughout the week. We have F1 2018, the grand finale of that season, happening on Sunday. The GTEs return on Monday. This particular league is next Friday, and plenty in between. So until then, thank you very much and good night.